All right, I took this display out of an Agilent counter and replaced it with LEDs because this one had gone dim on me. This is a vacuum fluorescent display, so it has a vacuum. You can see the little glass nib there where they pull the vacuum out and then they use a flame to seal that off so it has a vacuum inside. It's fluorescent because it has a phosphor type material, fluorescent type material in there. And it accelerates electrons to excite those phosphors. And the phosphors are painted on or silk screened on in a pattern. And then there's electrical contacts. So there's a PC board where you can individually address each segment and each digit. And then it's multiplexed that way. So you can select one and the other. Here's a UV lamp, and you can see that I can excite the phosphor with a UV lamp. And so the phosphor is obviously okay. The reason this thing went dim is probably it either outgassed, it lost its vacuum, or some other reason. I'm not quite sure what the real failure mechanisms are. These things are. There's not a lot of volume per. Anyway, it's hard to hold a vacuum in this particular shape. There's a large seal. There's two seals, right? There's a piece of glass on the bottom, a piece of glass on the top. There's kind of a ring around it. And so there's lots of problems trying to seal these things up. There's also what it looks like over here. That looks like what appears to be maybe a burn mark, but there's probably a getter in there. You fire the getter to try to extract any leftover oxygen or whatever inside the thing. Made by a classic company, Itron in Japan. Good stuff. I think we'll go ahead and look at it under the microscope just for fun. I don't think it's going to be easy to remove this top piece of glass, but we should be able to look through that piece of glass to the internal mechanisms and see what's going on. All right, here is the insides of the thing, and we can see several things here. First of all, there's some thin lines that go from the upper left to the lower right. Those thin lines, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are wires. And we can probably see them better attached over here. Yeah. So those little wires go and attach to little metal brackets. So those little metal wires kind of hover over the rest of the unit. And those are the filaments. They're the pieces of wire that boil off electrons. So those get a lot of electricity put through them and they boil off electrons. And then those electrons want to go somewhere. So there's a kind of chicken wire down there. And the chicken wire is at a potential where the electrons want to go towards it. So they accelerate towards that chicken wire. And if that's it, then that's all there is to it. But underneath the chicken wire is the actual display. So there's there's a gray area and a white area. The white area is the actual phosphor. The gray area is a conductor, okay? So if the electrons are going down and they're going towards that chicken wire, and the gray conductor has even more potential, it will go past the chicken wire, through the chicken wire, and then hit that conductor down there. And some of the photons will then hit the phosphor, and they will glow. So that's the way this thing works. Any other fun things in here? Yeah, it's just kind of silk screened on, right? So you can see down here like extended ref it's white phosphor on top of the gray conductor. And here the limit one is going to be, it's like the whole thing glows, and then the limit is not glowing. So they wanted to paint that differently. The nice thing about these types of displays is you're not font limited, right? You can have all kinds of, and you can have all kinds of crazy little insignias too, right? You could have, you know, you could have little Tektronix actual thing, or Keysight, or whoever, right? You could have your own little logo in there. I don't know why they don't do that. It must be fun, even if it's just for waking up. But anyway, yeah, there's not much else. Not much else going on. So, like I said, the chicken wire, if we can take a look at this one here, if you take a look at the chicken wire around this particular digit, you notice that it only surrounds that digit. There's another piece of chicken wire that goes over this digit. So you can multiplex it. So each digit you can have a potential on or not have a potential on. And then all of the segments are common, right? So the center segment or the decimal place are all common. And then you multiplex it by energizing that particular chicken wire. So that's the way the multiplexing is done. Yeah, I don't know. Fun little devices. Anything to see on the bottom? I don't think so. Let's see here. Let's focus this a little bit better. Yeah, so there's a little spring contacts. It's like a PC board contact to the, because this is a metal on glass, so you can't solder to it. I don't know. Fun stuff. Nothing going on today. Here's what is that? 9HA, probably a date code. Date code or manufacturing code, something like that. And Itron Japan. All right, there you go.